Hi guys, so it is Fitness Friday yet again. This Fitness Friday is a little bit different from the other workouts that I've done on this channel. So I've been asked by a lot of you to recommend some runner specific stretches. So I've decided to collate some of the best stretches for you. This can be done by anyone, but they're very good for runners. I'm going to be honest, all stretching is good, but here are some running specific stretches for you to do post-workout. And since it's really wet and cold and windy outside, I thought I would keep the session indoors today.
So we start in a kneeling position. You may have done this pose before in a yoga session. What you need to do is keep the knees directly below your chest, and then you are dropping your chest to the ground, bringing the arms up nice and high. We want to hold that pose for around 10 to 30 seconds. This all depends again how flexible you are and how tight in the hips you are. Then that brings us on to the wide child's pose. This one is a little bit different just by taking the knees out a little bit further. So we're opening the hips up a little bit more and then repeating what we did in the first child's pose. Bear in mind, these videos have been speeded up. Take your time and enjoy the stretch. Again, you want to make sure that the arms are active, so you're pushing the palms into the ground. And I've also added upper body stretch here as well. So again, we are starting in the kneeling position. This time we're going to take the weight forward, we are going to hook the toes, and then we're going to sit back into those heels. This one is a killer stretch, so I've decided to distract myself again with some upper body stretches as well. You don't have to do this, but it's always good to stretch out the upper body as well as our lower body. If this stretch is a little bit too intense, then I've also popped in a lighter version, which is where you can lean the body weight forward, but keeping those toes tucked underneath you, like so. And then shaking those feet off, sitting back in a neutral position. The pigeon pose, another yogi favourite. So we start again in the kneeling position. We then take the right knee and bring it forward directly underneath your chest, and then we just take the ankle out a little bit more towards your center, and then you sit those hips square to the floor. And once you're comfy in that position, then you bring your chest towards the ground, making sure that you're nice and comfy above those hips, and relax. Again, we are starting in the kneeling pose. Then we are bringing ourselves up onto our knees and taking the right foot forward. Again, making sure that the knee is in line with the ankle, and then we're going to sit forward, just opening up those hips a little bit more. And then once we have sat here between 10 and 30 seconds, again, dependent on your flexibility, we then sit back into that hamstring stretch. Keeping the legs straight. However, if you feel that you have very tight hamstrings, then just bend the knee slightly. We're keeping the foot flexed and the chest high. Again, we're starting in our favourite kneeling position, and then we're going into that low lunge, except for this time we are taking the left leg up, holding onto the foot so we can stretch out the front of that quad. This one's quite an active pose, so if you need to hang on to the side, then go ahead. Here again is a slightly different angle so you can see the lower body a little bit more clearer. Keeping the hips square. And of course, again, doing it on the other side. Bending at the knee, stretching the front of the leg out. We are starting off by lying on our back, keeping the knees facing the ceiling. Then we are taking that right leg up and over, resting the ankle onto the left knee or just a little bit lower down onto the quad. And then you are pulling with your arms that left leg through towards your chest, so you can feel that stretch in your glute on your right hand side. When you release, take the legs out and then just give them a little wiggle. Bring them back in to the starting position and then changing over to the other side. So here is another variation to the glute stretch. This time we're taking the passive leg up and introducing it into a hamstring stretch. So it's a little bit more of an active pose. Remember to make sure that the ankle is now below the knee so there is no pressure. So here I'm just showing you the glute stretch from a different angle so you can hopefully see it a little bit better.